Hello and welcome back to the Pharaoh's Legion. So today we're going to be looking at one of probably many people's favorite dreadnought. This is the Leviathan. The Leviathan dreadnought is a beast. It is a monster. It was designed specifically in secret by the Emperor without the Mechanicum's knowledge. So basically, I think obviously the Emperor knows everything. He knew there was going to be a war. He knew he might have to smash a few automata. So he thought, well, the dreadnought's pretty good, but it could be better. So he made something as strong and powerful as a Thanatar, but a lot more killy. So yeah, let's get started. I think let's get started. Oh, actually, one other thing. I suppose the main reason of this video, by now we should probably already know that, how to use a Leviathan. But I have heard that there are still kind of people are torn 50-50. Should you go shooty or punchy? So I'm gonna give you my obviously feedback of what I think at the end, but I'll let you make your own decision. So the Dreadnought, it's movement 6, so it's a bit slower than regular Dreadnought. Weapon skill and ballistic skill 5, so still pretty sexy. The minute you get to toughness 8, certain weapons don't affect you as easily. So for example, if you are using Melter, it's now 4s to wound, whereas it used to be, 3s. It makes a difference. Las cannons again, strength 9, so still 3s instead of 2s. All these high strength weapons are not as strong as they were before. You also have your 5-up invulnerable save and 7 wounds. So still 7 wounds, initiative 4, so you hit the same time as Marines, and 5 attacks. So you come with your claws. Let me just check what your claws are. You get 2 Leviathan siege claws. Okay. I have used a Leviathan, so don't worry. I just can't ever remember what it's called. Snippy and Drilly is kind of how I used to go before. So the Snippy claws are Leviathan siege claws. Whereas the other one's called a siege drill. So by siege claws, and the difference, I suppose, the difference between a claw and a siege claw is this thing can crush massive machines, tanks, that kind of thing, because it's strength 10. Now, you are 270 points, so you're quite expensive, and that's just with your 2 claws. Now, you have your 5 attacks because you have 2 claws. If you switch out a claw, you lose an attack. Obviously, you switch out both, you're down to 3 attacks. Not terrible, but not good if you want to go close combat. So I suppose because you already come with your close combat weapons, we'll look at what you would switch it out for. The drill, I just don't like. I don't like the drill, but I'll give you the stats either way. The claws are great. The claws are strength 10, AP 2, and they are brutal 3. So whatever you're gonna destroy things. So again, going against something elite. Now you're definitely an elite killer. You should not be wasted on larger troops. 1, you don't have enough attacks to you don't want to get tied down and bogged down. And 2, your weapons are too nice. They're too awesome to be wasted on anything like a regular Marine. Terminators will not enjoy you coming towards them, or most things won't enjoy you coming towards them. Strength 10, you're going to double them out. And brutal 3, the chances of them saving is pretty slim because they're going to be saving on their invulnerable saves. Even counterfracty, 50-50 chance, but 3 dice per person per kill. So you have 5 attacks, you're hitting weapon skill 5, actual normal Terminators, which no one really takes. You'd be hitting on 3s, but generally hitting on 4s. Again, you can change that up depending on legions and a few other little tactics. So hitting on 4s, you've got 5 attacks. Let's say 3 get through. I know that's not 50%, but you haven't got an even number of attacks. You are definitely wounding because you're wounding on 2s, unless you're super unlucky. And then you have 3 saves per wound. And if they're not saved, they're instant death. Even lovely Gal Vorbak. I'm not biased at all. So, yeah, if they get hit with this, oh god, that would be terrible. 5 Gal Vorbak dead. That's minimum size squad wiped out by this beast who's hitting kind of the same weapon skill as them as well. Because again, you're an elite unit, you should be going after elites. I suppose a dreadnought killer as well. So this is the kind of dreadnought you send out to kill other dreadnoughts. Even the Marigal will not enjoy fighting this thing because of, just like I said, the toughness being slightly higher. It's, you know, high weapon skill. And it's nice, and it comes with some great weapons. If you don't kill it outright, it will destroy you. It will destroy you. So be careful, you word bearers, you. So the Snippy Claws, again, it's got the chest mounts as well. It has 2 heavy flamers, but they can be switched out for 2 twin-linked Volkite calivers. Now, the calivers kind of have slipped past me this edition, mostly because I've not had anything really that uses, you know, calivers. I play word bearers, and when I played Mechanicum as well, it was last edition. So this edition, I say the caliber is pretty good because it's not strength 5, it's strength 6, and it's 3 shots each. So you've got 6 strength 6 shots. That is pretty nice against regular Marines, which is probably what these are for. These are not really to go with your heavy weapons or your killing power. These are in case you get bogged down, you need something to clear that chaff. So I would probably go also with the Phosphex launcher, which you stick on your, you know, on your carapace. And use these as a deterrent for smaller things, not planning to go and kill something bigger. Similar to the Derrideo, really. The chest guns on the Derrideo and the missile launcher, they're also a nice deterrent against getting charged by multiple smaller units to try and bog you down. But you don't have any real long-range weapons. The good thing is the snips also come with melter guns. Each hand you have a melter gun as well. So the Leviathan is quite a beast in close combat. The siege drill. Now, if you wanted to switch out your snips for a siege drill, it's more if you're going against tanks, really. I don't feel like you're fast enough to catch a tank, but if you did, by any chance, you would have strength 12, and you'd have armor bane, so you would definitely be destroying tanks easily. I don't think there's any problem with that. I suppose if you went against other dreadnoughts, you would be wounding them on 2s, and you would also be re-rolling those wounds. Is it better than wounding them on 2s and having brutal 3? No, not at all. I think that's definitely a better choice. Strength 12 might threaten some smaller kind of automata, so you're actually instant deathing them at the same time. But I think you can do similar with brutal 3. You can kind of get those wounds back anyway. It's much of a muchness, really. Armor bane, I suppose maybe you could get those rerolls on the automata as well. But generally, I think the best all-rounder is the claw, because you don't know what you're going to be fighting, especially if you come up against something like a monster of some sort that isn't an automator, like a demon sovereign, for example. So you need to make sure you can kill it. You have moved through cover, Hammer of Wrath 3, so you're doing some damage on the charge. You can take them as a Talon, so up to 2 in one heavy support choice. I think 3rd edition will possibly get rid of that, or make them weaker, but I'd probably hope for just less of them. Definitely not a squad. As far as close combat goes, you are a close combat monster. The only problem is you are slow. You're heavy, so you're not running anywhere. So you're not chasing anything. You're not going to get anywhere too fast. I would like to talk about legions separately, but because we're on close combat, I think if you have close combat and you can't run and you're a space wolf, then obviously you are going to be weapon skill 5 on the charge. So that is great. Plus you will have your extra attack from counter attack, which you get as a space wolf. So weapon skill 6 on the charge just makes you still a hunter of your own kind, basically, which is kind of what space wolves are. If you're a heavy elite unit, you go after other heavy elite units, then you need your weapon skill raised because you need to be able to make sure that you can hit them and they can't hit you. And we know weapon skill in this game is definitely is a big deal, even possibly more so than initiative. You know, obviously if you get hit first and die, then that's one thing. But if someone can't hit you because your weapon skill is so high, there's it's pretty good, and then it's easier for you to hit them as well. Whereas I suppose initiative is just, you either hit first or you don't. Weapon skills, like, they can't hit you and you can really hit them separately. So I feel like it's a double bonus. Anywho, let me know what you think. So if you're going to switch anything out, I would say that claw is too nice to get rid of completely. So I would always bring at least one shooting weapon. So in this case, we have the Leviathan Storm Cannon. Don't forget, you do have melter guns in each hand. So 12-inch range, and you can't run. So you have the Leviathan Storm Cannon. Now, the Leviathan Storm Cannon is nice. I can't tell you it's not. But as far as anything goes, it's got six shots. It's got 24-inch range, strength 7, AP4, classic autocannon. It has got rending on a 5-up, so I think that makes things better. It makes it better. 1/3 chance of rending anything, and that means also you can challenge most vehicles as well. Apparently any vehicle, but strength 7, risky. Again, if you're an Iron Warrior, suddenly you're strength 8 against vehicles and dreadnoughts. So you are going to be definitely wanting to take the Storm Cannon, possibly. I say definitely, possibly. Fishing for 6s or fishing for these things is something I've done loads of times, like many Galvorback players. Or waiting for that Paragon Blade to finally do something and make its money back. You can't be wishing for these things. You've got to make sure, or I do anyway, I need to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. And in this case, I just feel like it doesn't do enough for me. Some people switch them out for 2. Both claws gone, so you get 2. Now, 12 shots, strength 7, AP4. You're doing quite a lot of damage. Then you've got your chest-mounted guns, and then you've got your other guns. You are going to be always walking, so you always get the fire, and you can fire all your weapons. You're suddenly quite a good gun platform. But for me, you have a short range. You need to make sure that you are on those objectives or close to the objectives, and you're going to be clearing objectives. That's all you've got to do. You can't take anything, but you can sit on an objective or around an objective and clear it, and keep that objective clear. So the Storm Cannons, they are quite good for that. More against probably Mechanicum, I'd definitely take them. Or it's not better than that Claw. That Claw is great. But yes, shooting things like Thalax and Solar Auxilia, definitely. And being able to rend vehicles. But if you got into close combat, you would not be as good as you should be. Although you can still instant death things by just kicking them to death at strength 8. So still pretty good. The next gun you can switch out for is the Cyclone Melter Lance. This is what I use, but I do use it with my Salamanders. So it has 4 shots, strength 8, AP1, obviously it's Melter, 18 inches. So even shorter range, but a beast, a real beast of a gun. So having the 4 Melter Lance shots, and then you've got your other Melter gun in your hand, you've got your 5 Melter shots. Now, it's good for return fire, definitely, because things will want to shoot you. And I always think you need to have something for return fire when you're a bullet magnet like this. You're also going to be able to soften up a harder target, because remember, you only go for hard targets. Again, strength 8, so you're going into a Terminator squad, you fire all 5 shots. They will not have the kind of weapons to shoot back and hurt you like you do for them. You could kill, now obviously could, 5 Terminators before you even got into combat. Most people take larger units these days, especially in Heresy. So you get in there, you could kill 5. Say there's a 10-man unit, there's 5 left. You've got 4 attacks because you switched out your other claw for a Melter Lance, and then you can just finish off the rest. How many of them are going to be able to hit back? How much damage are you going to be able to do? You can do a good devastating assault on them, basically. Not to mention your Hammer of Wrath, your 3 Hammer of Wraths, which could also instant death somebody. Yeah, it is a beast. It is definitely something that you should get into close combat, I believe. I'm not saying it's not a good weapons platform. It is, but better weapons platforms with longer range and that do a better job, more customizable, like the Deredeo. And like I said, the claw is just too good to lose. And the look of it. It's also the rule of cool, your weapon and your claw, or if you want to Grav Flux Bombard. Oh god. So the Grav Flux Bombard, also short ranged, a large blast, and again you're actually rolling against strength, and if you're hitting armor, you're rolling 4d6 for armor penetration. It has not got haywire, so what's the point of it? What is the point of it? A large blast. If you've got a large blast, if you've got a load of automator, you might be able to hit a load of them. But I want haywire because I want to be making sure I put wounds on them. I don't want them rolling against a strength or a toughness or some craziness going on. It's just a bit, and it's AP4. So does it actually do anything? I don't know what the point of that is. It's 5 points, and it's probably 5 points for a reason. I know it, you also get slowed down by grab weapons now and again, but is it even worth it? Not when you're a killing machine that you don't care if you're charged or if you charge someone else. You need to be in there. So 5 points, I think they should give you back 5 points if you use that weapon. 2 of them, it has got a rule where you any kind of whole points you do or wounds, you can double them, but you can only do like 1, so it's really 2 wounds you can do. I just don't. It just seems rubbish. If I want a weapon that's going to be a grav weapon, I want something that has multi-shots, like a graviton imploder, which is the mechanicum use. So you've got ba-bang, ba-bang, ba-bang. You get those 2 shots. They're solid shots. They're not blasts. They're not going to miss. You're going to hit something. You're going to wound it. Or actually you're going to haywire it, and then you know what your targets are. I think the Grav Flux Bombard is just a reason to use your pie plate, but we've got much better things for that. We've got the Scorpius. So again, the best weapon for me, the Cyclone Melter Lance. Short range is annoying, but like I said, the Leviathan Storm Cannon also short range, slightly better, yes, but the chance of you killing even a Space Marine without them getting their saves are not strong enough for me. So for me, I don't think so, but for you, maybe, maybe so. Again, I could take 2 Cyclone Melter Lances and have 8 shots. 8 melter shots. Something to think about. Like I said, I used that on my salamanders, and my salamanders are kind of a small growing force, and they will definitely come into their own in 3rd edition, apparently. Just what we hear. So as a salamander player, sometimes with my Leviathan Dreadnought, I like to go up against other salamanders. But I also like to go up against others with the Cyclone Melter Lance. So they're having to wound me on 5s because they need 4s originally, and then need 5s because I'm a salamander. Other things like Volkite heavy weapon squads they've tried to fire on me. I did tell them beforehand so they didn't waste all their shots. But having 25 shots fired at you to just see if they can chip a few wounds off is terrible when they're strength 6, so you normally need 6s, but because you're a salamander, you need 7s, because every 6 is actually a 5. You cannot wound them with strength 6 Volkite, or strength 6 plasma, so think about that. So being a salamander makes them a lot more survivable. Being an Iron Warrior means your Leviathan Storm Cannon is a lot more potent. Not sure if that's the word I wanted to use. And being a Space Wolf means that in close combat, you are going to be weapon skill 6. Now that is a challenge for a Marogal. Hitting on 4s makes all the difference. I hope you have enjoyed. I suppose I've just gone through what you have and what you can and can't take, but I think you always need to consider what your Legion is kind of best at doing, and can your Legion affect the unit that you're going to take with you? I've just named you 3 units that can be affected by their legions. What else can you think of? Post them in the comments. If you like what you see, and let me know if you hear anything about 3rd edition.